No, you'll have to unmute yourself. Yep, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The question, I've been through the whole process, but I failed at the final interview. And some of the questions I don't think were fair. One of which was, say you were in a situation and there were a couple of people in the queue who were abusive behaviour. How would you deal with that? Well, I've never come across that. So what I'm saying is, that if I was a police officer, I could sort that out. So, how can I get round that? Do we make a story up? Really, if we
Okay.
do the interview again, do we make a story up, assuming that in theory I could treat these two abusive people with some sort of answer?
Okay. So they're asking, they're presenting a scenario to you, and scenario questions are so common at final interviews where they're saying, "So I'd like you to imagine that you are in the future." Is it saying in your role as a police officer or just you as Paul?
Me as Paul, really.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right, great. So you're in a queue, I don't know, for the cinema, whatever it might
yeah,
be.
that's right. That's what
Yeah,
the example was. Yeah,
yeah, because I've heard of this one before. And there's two people being abusive to someone else. That's
yeah,
what it means. Two people being
yeah,
abusive to someone else.
yeah. Language and swearing and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, abusive behavior towards someone else. All right, awesome. Yeah, I know exactly how we can deal with that. So, quick gulp. By the way, this is top tip for your interview. Before they ask you any questions, there'll be some water on the table. Your mouth will be a bit dry. Mine's not because I've been doing this sort of thing for ages. I'm not nervous or anything. But when you go to your interview, there might be a little bit of nerves going on, and that's okay. I'd expect that. So before you start answering any questions and your mouth's all dry, get it lubricated. Ah, good stuff. And the other reason why your glass of water is so good is because when they ask you a question, and you're thinking, oh, what answer am I going to use? And you're looking around thinking, I can't stare at them. I can't look at them. What shall I look at? I know I'll look at the ceiling. No, I'll look at my feet. No, I'll look at my fingernails. And you just don't know where to look, do you, whilst you're trying to think of what answer to give? It's quite simple. You just pick up your glass. Yes, I do have an example of that. And then you launch into your answer. Sound good? Works a treat. Okay, Paul, failed your interview. You're asked a question about how you were in a queue waiting to go to the theatre, cinema. And there's two people just ahead of you, and they're being really abusive. I'm just going to mute you all if that's okay,
all
including
right. Yeah,
Paul,
sure.
just because of background noise. All right, so start again. So, Paul, your question. You failed your final interview because you didn't think the question was fair. Right. And the question was, you're standing in a queue at the cinema, and there's two people just ahead of you, and they're being really abusive to someone else who's in the queue, swearing at them, being abusive. What are you going to do? So, first point, you might think it's not fair, but I don't want this to come across the wrong way. No one else cares, certainly not the interviewers. Whether you think it's fair or not doesn't matter because the golden rule applies. Those who hold the gold make the rules. So the interviewers have got the hand, haven't they? They've got the playing hand. They're the ones that decide whether you get in or not. Whether you think it's fair or not, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So we've got to have a system for being able to answer questions like this. Now, um, the system I like to use is first of all talking about why it's important. So why it's important for citizens to be able to step up, feel confident that they can step up, and basically challenge bullies. This sounds like bullying behaviour. It sounds like it could be more than that. If there was a police officer that there, they might actually deal with it because it could be homophobic abuse or it could be abuse of a misogynistic or sexist nature. It might even be a public order offence. But you're not a police officer, you're just a citizen. And what they're looking for is to see whether you're the sort of person that can step up. Because as a police officer, I think, one of the things, I mean, I'm going to ask you all here a quick straw poll. As a police officer, what do you think? Do you think the police service are looking for strong characters because strong characters can stand up for themselves? Give me a hands up if you feel as though that's the case. The police service are looking for strong characters because strong characters can stand up for themselves. Give me a hands up if you think that's the case. All right. Sophie's sort of sitting on the fence there. Yeah. Okay. She's gone for it. Right. Gone for it. Great. Now, that might be the case, but what they're getting at with this question is how they're looking for something else. So whilst I'm just going to mute whoever, I'm sorry, just going to mute you all out. Okay, please don't unmute yourself, please. So whilst the police are looking for strong characters, because strong characters can stand up for themselves, what they're really looking for is the stronger character. The stronger character, because strong characters can stand up for themselves, but a stronger character stands up for those who can't stand up for themselves. The stronger character stands up for those who can't stand up for themselves. So what they're looking for here is, are you the sort of person that will step up and stand up to do the right thing? I mean, are you? Give me a hands up if you feel as though you're the sort of person that's going to step up and do the right thing. And to step up to help that person who can't stand up for themselves for whatever reason. And that's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. And that's the heart of a police officer. Because police officers, yeah, most of them are strong characters, but they're the stronger characters because they will stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. They will stand up against the bullies. They will stand up for vulnerable people. They will do exactly what the Peelian principles set in stone in 1829. Sir Robert Peel, when he formed the Metropolitan Police, I know it's debatable as to whether he actually wrote these principles or someone else wrote them, but still, they're ascribed to him. Ascribed, is that a word? Anyway, whatever. They're his principles. And in one of them, he talks about how, as a police officer, your role is to be a friend to all, no matter what their background, no matter what their social standing. So this kind of links in with that as well. You're there for the person who can't stand up for themselves. So what they're looking for is a strong answer here, where you talk about why, first of all, why it's so important, and secondly, how you go about doing it, and thirdly, what the result would be. So why, how, what? Why is it important? How would you go about doing it? And what would the result be? What do you think, Paul? Make sense? You like that? You can. I can't hear you. I did mute you, but just unmute yourself, Paul.
Yeah, that's exactly the answer I require, really, because I'm sure I can put that across, even though I haven't been in that situation before. I'm sure I can do it now.
Yeah,
I hope
awesome.
so.
Great. Oh, we don't do hope.
I'm going to do it. Yes. All right. All right.
Fantastic. Yeah. For those of you who know me and have joined my webinars before, who are members of the Academy, you'll know that I never wish anyone luck. We don't do hope. We don't do try.
Okay. Okay.
We just do. We do. That's what we do. We do. All right. Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
All right.
Please, that
All
was
right.
useful for you.